Coachella. Just the word itself is enough to spark 1,000 memories, 1,000 dreams. For some, it's a bucket list destination, a place where music, art, and freedom collide under the blazing California sun. The name alone conjures up images of sun-drenched millennials, outrageous fashion choices, and a sea of people all chasing the same thing: a good time, a great story, and maybe a little bit of magic. And of course, enough Instagram-worthy moments to last a lifetime. Every corner is a photo op, every sunset a backdrop for the next viral post. It's where music lovers go to worship at the altar of their favorite bands, and where influencers go to, well, influence. The festival is as much about being seen as it is about seeing the acts. It's a cultural phenomenon, a capitalist carnival, a place where you can buy a $20 smoothie, a $200 t-shirt, and a priceless memory all in the same afternoon. But this year it got political, like really political. Suddenly the festival grounds were dotted with banners, slogans, and conversations that went far beyond music and fashion. For years, Coachella was the place to escape the real world. Leave your troubles at the gate, grab a flower crown, and lose yourself in the music. It was a bubble, a fantasy land where reality felt miles away. Politics? Who needs them when you've got Beyoncé on stage and a belly full of overpriced noodles? The only debates were about which set to catch or which food truck had the best vegan tacos. But 2025 was different. This year, the real world crashed the party. News updates flashed across giant screens, and festival goers found themselves talking about more than just set lists and secret shows. This wasn't your typical Coachella crowd. Sure, there were the usual suspects, the flower crown enthusiasts, the fringe fanatics, the ones who treat the festival as a fashion runway, and of course the guys who haven't washed their tie-dye shirts since Woodstock, still chasing that original festival spirit. But there was a different energy in the air this year, an undercurrent of something. Anticipation, anxiety, maybe a little bit of both. People whispered about politics between sets, debated the future over overpriced drinks, and wondered what would happen next. Little did they know, things were about to get interesting. Very interesting. The sun was setting, but for Coachella 2025, the real story was just beginning. Coachella is a fashion show as much as it is a music festival. Every year, thousands descend upon the desert, not just for the music, but to see and be seen, to turn the festival grounds into their own personal runway. The anticipation for what people will wear is almost as high as the anticipation for the headliners themselves. It's where trends are born and where fashion rules go to die. Here, creativity knows no bounds, and self-expression is the only dress code. Outfits range from the meticulously planned to the delightfully spontaneous, and every year the bar for originality seems to rise just a little higher. This year was no different. The festival grounds were a living, breathing gallery of style, with each attendee adding their own flair to the ever-evolving tapestry of Coachella fashion. We saw it all, folks. The good, the bad, and the downright bizarre. Some looks were instant classics, while others left us scratching our heads, wondering if we'd missed a memo. But that's the beauty of Coachella. Anything goes, and everyone is welcome to make a statement. Think Coachella, and you think fashion. Specifically, you think of a peculiar brand of bohemian chic that can only be described as desert rave meets Woodstock. It's a blend of free-spirited vintage, psychedelic colors, and a touch of modern edge, all coming together under the blazing sun. Flower crowns were everywhere, of course, perched atop heads like colorful halos. They've become a symbol of the festival itself, a nod to its roots in peace, love, and music. Each crown seemed to tell its own story, from delicate pastels to bold, oversized blooms. Fringe swayed in the breeze, adorning everything from vests to boots. It added movement and drama to every step, catching the sunlight and the eyes of fellow festival-goers. The more fringe, the better. It's practically a Coachella law. Neon colors screamed for attention, a kaleidoscope of hues against the dusty backdrop. From electric pinks to highlighter greens, these bold choices lit up the desert, making sure no one could blend into the crowd even if they tried. But amidst the usual fashion frenzy, something felt different. The carefree vibe, the one that usually permeated every corner of the festival, seemed a little muted. There was a subtle shift in the air, a sense that people were holding back, perhaps a little more reflective than in years past. It was as if the weight of the world, the one everyone was trying so hard to escape, had finally seeped into the Indio desert. Even in a place built for celebration, reality has a way of catching up. Yet despite this, the spirit of Coachella endured, resilient, creative, and always ready to surprise us. Then came Bernie. That's right, Bernie Sanders, the socialist senator himself, decided to grace Coachella with his presence. Now, you might be thinking, Bernie at Coachella? That's like finding a vegan at a BBQ. And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. The crowd went wild. Not wild in the way they did for Beyoncé, mind you, but wild nonetheless. It was a sea of iPhones held high, capturing the moment for posterity and Instagram stories. Some looked confused, others ecstatic. Was this real life? Was Bernie about to drop a sick beat? He didn't drop a beat. He did, however, drop some truth bombs. He talked about income inequality, climate change, and of course a certain someone who shall remain nameless, but whose name rhymes with Frump. The crowd ate it up. It was a side of Coachella we'd never seen before, a side that was equal parts inspiring and honestly a little bit terrifying. Speaking of Frump, rumors were swirling all weekend that the man himself was going to make an appearance. Was he going to crash the stage during Bernie's speech, challenge him to a dance battle? Nobody knew for sure, but the internet was just on fire with speculation. Social media basically became a breeding ground for Trump at Coachella conspiracy theories. Some folks swore they saw him backstage sporting a MAGA hat and a pair of those tiny sunglasses he loves so much. Others claimed he was disguised as a giant Cheeto, which, let's be honest, isn't that far-fetched. The rumors, of course, turned out to be false, or were they? Some die-hard Trump supporters insisted he was there, hidden in plain sight. He's like a ninja, one woman told me, her eyes wide with conviction, a very orange ninja. Meanwhile, the real Donald Trump was busy being, well, Donald Trump. He was tweeting up a storm, ranting about fake news, and generally just being the walking, talking embodiment of chaos that we've all come to know and tolerate. From his Mar-a-Lago bunker, Trump was a one-man reality show. He fired off tweet after tweet, each one more baffling than the last. He denied ever wanting to go to Coachella. It's full of liberals, while simultaneously claiming he could have been the festival's headliner if he wanted to. He called Bernie a loser and a communist, his two favorite insults, and then, in a bizarre twist, challenged him to a golf game. "We'll see who the real winner is then, Bernie," he tweeted, because apparently the fate of the free world hinges on a round of golf. As if things weren't crazy enough, the whole Trump-Russia thing decided to rear its ugly head again. Turns out some of those Russian bots that helped Trump get elected back in 2016 were also busy spreading misinformation about Coachella. Coincidence? I think not. The news cycle was a whirlwind, tariffs were imposed, trade wars were threatened, and Fox News spun tales so outlandish they made Alice in Wonderland look like a documentary. It was exhausting and honestly more than a little terrifying. Through it all, the Russian bots were hard at work. They were tweeting fake Coachella lineups, spreading rumors about celebrity feuds, and generally just trying to sow discord among festival goers, because hey, what's a little international espionage when you could be messing with people's music festival experience, right? So, what does it all mean? As the dust settles and the music fades, it's hard not to ask ourselves, did we just witness a turning point, or was it all just another blip in the endless cycle of festival chaos? Was Coachella 2025 just a weird fever dream, a surreal escape from reality that we'll all laugh about in a few years? Or was it something more? A reflection of the strange, unpredictable world we're living in right now? Or was it a sign of things to come? Maybe it's a preview of the future, where music festivals aren't just about the music anymore, but about the culture wars, the politics, and the spectacle that surrounds them. Has our once sacred ground for escapism become just another battleground in the never-ending culture war? The festival grounds, once a place to lose yourself in the music, now feel like a stage for society's biggest debates and divisions. One thing's for sure, Coachella 2025 was a trip. It was an experience that defied expectations, blending the familiar with the bizarre and leaving everyone with more questions than answers. It was a strange, surreal mix of music, fashion, politics, and enough social media drama to make your head spin. Influencers chased the perfect shot while activists clashed with partygoers, and everyone seemed to be performing for an invisible audience online. It was a microcosm of our current reality, chaotic, confusing, and more than a little bit terrifying. The energy in the air was electric but also tense, as if everyone was waiting for the next viral moment or unexpected twist. As I watched the sun set over the Indio Desert, casting a warm glow over the sea of exhausted festival goers, I realized that this festival was more than just an event. It was a snapshot of our times, with all their contradictions and complexities. I couldn't help but wonder, what's next? Will the lines between entertainment and activism blur even further? Will festivals become even more unpredictable? Or will we find a way back to the pure joy of music and togetherness? Will Coachella 2026 be even wilder? Will the spectacle grow? Or will we see a return to something simpler, more authentic? The only certainty is that nothing stays the same for long. Will Trump finally make his appearance, MAGA hat and all? Will politics continue to crash the party? Or will the music drown out the noise? Only time will tell, and the anticipation is half the fun. But one thing's for sure, I'll be watching. Whether from the front row or from the sidelines, I can't look away from this wild, unpredictable show that is Coachella. From a safe distance, of course. Sometimes the best view is from the edge, where you can take it all in without getting swept up in the madness. With my phone fully charged and my Twitter fingers ready, I'll be there to document every twist, every meme, and every unforgettable moment. Because in times like these, you never know what's coming next.